Okay, so good morning. Welcome to Wednesday's healing class. We will start off with about 10 minutes of movement before we move to meditation. Today is going to be the healing sounds again that we did last week. So we're going to work with those for a couple of weeks more, just to go deeper into the healing sound experience. But in the meantime, let's just begin. Stand with the feet at shoulder width. The knees are gently bent. The back is nice and straight. Tailbone pulls softly down towards the earth. Head pushes gently up towards the sky. Chin draws back a tiny bit. Tailbone tucks forward a tiny bit. Between the legs, we lift up Hui Yin, just kind of closing the capsule of your upper body. It's just a gentle tightening of the muscles. Whole body, relax. Shoulders, relaxed. Draw the mind back inside. We draw the mind back as if this whole worldscape could be drawn back in to the third eye, deep into the center of the brain. And we can let our eyes gently relax. So rather than having your eyes completely wide open, try and let the eyes just relax down a little bit. I tend to keep my eyes 3/4 closed, let's say. So I can just sort of see a pool of light on the floor in front of me. Helps me to keep my balance, but I'm less distracted that way if my eyes are just a little bit closed. Turning from the waist then. So focusing everything down deep into the belly. We bring ourselves back inside and we focus on the core of our body, lower dantian, the lower energy field. From the lower energy field, we gently turn the body toward the back and just see how our spines feel. Let's not rush into this exercise. Let's just check out the body first, see how it's getting on. Gentle, easy movements just to warm up. And then when the back feels okay, or if it feels okay, we can start to turn. You can moderate all of these exercises. You can also, if you're watching the video, skip forward and not bother doing the exercises. But my personal preference is just to do a little bit of light exercise even before we meditate. The idea is that we open up the joints in the body, we open up the channels in the body, we generate a flow of qi around the body. Because even something that appears to be exceptionally quiet, like sitting still doing nothing, requires energy. So this is why one of the key aspects for sleep issues is to do standing Qigong. Because when we do the standing Qigong, as we're going to do in this class, the standing posture is designed to help us gather as much energy as we possibly can. So I'll just go through the points for you and then tell you why. So I always say to you, remind yourself to keep your knees bent. When we unlock the knees, then the qi flows much more easily through that joint. And there are 3 channels that run down the outside of the leg and 3 channels that run up the inside of the leg. So we have a huge sort of flow of energy moving in our legs, connecting to the earth, connecting to the qi beyond. And so like the roots of a tree, we circulate our energy up and down our legs. Lift Hui Yin. So this little point between the genitalia and the anus, it's an acupuncture point there. We just imagine lifting up. So it's just a tiny, tiny intention rather than anything else. A slight tightening of the muscles around the sort of perineum, buttocks area. And it's really the intention to lift up. And the reason for that is that we have this energy flowing up our legs. It kind of gathers at Hui Yin between the legs and then moves up into the belly, into lower dantian. Push the Bai Hui into the heavens. So Bai Hui is on top of the head. If you take a straight line up the front of your ears, let's say, so you imagine going from the lobe all the way up to the top of the ear and straight up on top of the head, that pretty much gives you where Bai Hui is. push by way up into the blue sky. That same idea is connecting up into the heavens, having energy pouring down, and it pours down to this acupuncture point on your head. I often sort of joke that it's a little bit like your own satellite dish installed on your head. The qi pours down, gathers into upper dantian. That's an energy gathering place in the center of your brain. It's not just an energy gathering place, it's got all sorts of other functionality, but essentially the qi will pool there in the center of your brain around the level of the pineal gland. That qi can then flow down through a straight neck into the body. So there's this other idea, lift up by hui and tuck chin in. And so if your chin is right up in the air, you've closed the back of your neck off. You're not able to allow qi to flow so easily through your neck. If you're staring at the floor, same thing happens, the neck is constricted. So you look forwards and they say, look at the horizon, but maybe just 10, 20% below the horizon. So just gazing down slightly and then tuck the chin in. And it's not kind of draw your chin right back into your throat. It's just a gentle intention to draw the chin backwards towards the spine. And in so doing, by lifting the top of the head and tucking the chin, you've suddenly created a much straighter neck. The qi flows much better through that. So it's able to pour down from the brain into the body. So it moves down into the middle energy field, which is behind your breastbone. Deep in the center of your chest, there's middle dantian, the middle energy field. And that collects qi for the organs. And then this qi will pour on down into the belly, behind the belly button, deep inside, lower dantian. So we have the qi surging up the legs and then coming up through hui yin up into the belly, into lower dantian. We have qi pouring down from the heavens, heading down through the head, through the neck, through the chest, and into the belly. Because we've taken up these good postures, knees bent and tailbone tucked forward, spine long and chin tucked backward, we get spine qi pouring down through the body. And the last aspect of this is the hands. So qi gathers in through 𝐬𝐥𝐿 on your palm. It's right in the center of the palm. Just rather macabrely, the thought that came to mind there was that was why people were crucified in the old days in this way, because you're putting a nail through your 𝐬𝐥𝐿 point, a really crucial point. So anyway, sorry about that rather unpleasant thought, but 𝐬𝐥𝐿 is a really powerful point, and that's a point that martial artists use to strike each other. Sometimes you'll see people hitting with an open palm, and the reason they're hitting with an open palm rather than a fist is that they're trying to deliver their qi from their lower dantian into somebody else's body to kind of disrupt them. So it's always been known that 𝐬𝐥𝐿 is a very powerful point. And in our case, 𝐬𝐥𝐿 is open. We're tapping it onto the side of the body right at the moment. And that opens the acupuncture point. And then that allows qi to flow really well through your arms. The qi comes in through the hands, flows up the arms to the shoulders. And from the shoulders, 2 points called jianjing, the qi pours down into middle dantian, down into lower dantian. So taking up the right posture allows you to gather qi from all directions, as it were, from all points of your body, and bring it into the belly. And we're bringing all the focus into the belly by tapping on it, keeping our mind in it. So by taking up the right posture, we're able to gather the optimum amount of qi. And back to the original subject, which was sleeping problems. If you can't sleep, it means that you don't have enough qi to support your sleep. Well, you'd think in kind of modern scientific terms, it was just a question of switching off. Oh, I just switch off. It's like we switch a light off, click, gone. Doesn't require any energy. But unfortunately, that's not true. Sleep requires qi. So if you find that your sleep is patchy, the thing to do is to spend 20 minutes, half an hour standing. Stand right beside your bed. Take up the standing posture, quieten your mind, and just stand for 10, 15 minutes. And then when you think, oh, I'm just about to nod off now, lie down on the bed and sleep. But you can use it as a way to build up enough energy to support your sleep. So that's a really crucial little point for the day. If you're having sleep problems, fill yourself with energy. Almost every problem comes to the bottom line. More qi would help it. And so gathering qi is a really fundamental thing. And I use this exercise to open up the body, to get the body into the right posture and allow qi to flow well. But in the meantime, we're also standing in a standing posture, and this helps us to gather qi as well. Okay, let's let this exercise slow, 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 slow to a stop. So this is why we find ourselves in the standing posture at the beginning of every single class. Lift qi up. Pour qi down. This is another very good way of gathering qi, but it's also a way of smoothing out the qi. So sometimes our beginning exercises can make us feel really dizzy. And so this brings us back into balance. If you find yourself suddenly feeling dizzy, put your mind in your feet. Think about your toes. Think about the balls of your feet. Think about this intimate connection from your feet deep into the earth. And that starts to help stabilize you as well as you experience the balls of your foot, as you experience each of the toes one by one. Okay. Let the whole body relax. We're going to do some simple forward and back bends now, just to keep so we've rotated our spine, so now let's just stretch it back and forth. Lift the hands up into the blue sky and stretch up. So let the whole of the front of the body open. Let your knees and hips go back and your knees and hips go forward and you gently lean back. Stretch up. Gently lean back. Stretch up. Gently lean back. Stretch up. Back. Hands up in the blue sky. So now we don't press our arms against our ears. We don't sandwich our head between our arms. We just coordinate them. So we keep them at the same kind of speed as the ears. So bend over your arms and your ears, and you can feel the nape of your neck bending right over. When the arms are parallel to the floor, then we start to bend our upper backs. We start to bend the middle back, and then we start to bend the lower back. Keep your knees soft this time. Let the body just relax down. Hang down wherever it naturally hangs. Try and take all the pressure off the back of your neck so your head hangs completely down towards the floor. Stretch softly towards your toes and then release. In line with the roots of your toes and release. In line with your insteps and release. Head back towards your heels. Good. Just let the body hang and relax here for a few moments. Okay, so we're going to bring ourselves upright. The first thing we do is point our tailbones up behind us, up into the blue sky. Then you swing the tailbone towards the front of the body. And you start to assemble the spine, vertebra by vertebra. Gently, slowly coming up. Lift up the head and arms. Up, up, up. Stretch up. Blue sky chi. Release the knees and hips forward. Let the body lean back. Stretching up and gently back. Stretch up and gently back. Up and back. Hands up in the blue sky. Arms and ears gently tip over. Roll into the upper back, middle back, lower back. Hang gently down. Let the back of the neck be soft and the head hangs down. Imagine the foot split in 4 pieces. The first place is the toes, stretch down and release. And then in line with the roots of our toes, stretch down and release. In line with our insteps, as you can see, we get gradually deeper each time and release. And then in line with our heels, nice deep bend. That's great. Let the body just hang and relax here. Lift the tailbone to point up behind. Push tailbone to the front. Roll the spine up. Lift up the head, the arms, the ears. Stretch up, stretch up, stretch up. Blue sky chi. Knees and hips drift forward as you softly lean back. Stretching up and gently back. Stretching up and gently back. stretching up, gently back. Hands up in the blue sky. Okay, try and do these with your legs straight now. So lock the knees straight. This stretches our hamstrings. Tip the head, the arms, the ears over. Then go into the upper back, go into the middle back, go into the lower back. So we let the body hang down. Keep the legs as straight as you possibly can. Okay, well, if you can't keep the legs straight, you just unlock them. There's no problem. But if you can, just hang here for a moment with straight legs. Watch your balance, but try and move the weight a little bit forward to the toes, and you'll just feel those hamstrings opening up a bit more. Really important channels running on the back of our legs here. And so when we stretch open our hamstrings like this, really helps. So just keep the back of the legs stretching open. Okay, let's get back to our exercise again. So gently stretch down toward the toes and release, in line with the roots of our toes, and release, in line with our insteps, and release, and then head back towards our heels. Release and relax. Let the body gently hang. Lift the tailbone up behind, push tailbone to the front of the body, roll the spine up, head, arms and ears roll up, stretch up, blue sky chi. Drift knees and hips forward, you can gently lean back and up, back and up, back, stretch up, back and stretch up. Hands in the blue sky. Okay, we're going to go one more time. Legs straight, arms and ears tip over, upper back, middle back, and lower back. Let the body hang and relax. Back of the neck is soft and relaxed. Tummy tucks in. Gently head down towards the toes, and then release, in line with the roots of our toes, and release, in line with our insteps, and release. Head back towards the heels in a nice deep bend. Relax, release, let the body hang. Tailbone lifts up behind to point into the blue sky behind. Tailbone pushes to the front. Spine starts to come up. Arms and ears lift up as if they were pulling a huge weight up with the fingertips. Gently lifting up, stretch up, blue sky chi. Good. Knees and hips drift forward, you softly lean back and up, back, stretch up, back and up, back. Hands up in the blue sky. Just let the hands drift down the side of the body, gently drifting down, settling and sinking down. Good. And then let's gather. Lift chi up. Pour this beautiful chi down through your body, settling and calming and relaxing. Lift up and gather. Pour chi down and feel the relaxation, the balance that this brings about. If you're feeling perturbed, this is good just to bring your levels of balance back down. Lift and gather. Gently pour. It works here to balance us when we've been doing our exercises, but it also works in daily life when you're feeling worried, upset, cross, angry, whatever, out of balance. But this is just about bringing balance from the head, moving it down into the belly again, centering us back in our bodies. Okay, so we're just going to do some side bends and then we'll move on to today's work. So the side bends, very simple. Just lift your right hand up into the blue sky. Breathe in as you do so. As you breathe out, head across the left-hand side. Breathe in. Stretch left. Gentle breath. And stretch left. Breathe in. Stretch left. Breathe in. Stretch left. Gentle breath in. Lift the right hand up. Turn the hands over as we breathe out. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, head across to the right. Gentle breath in. Exhale, stretch right. Breathe in. Stretch right. Breathe in. Stretching right. Breathe in. Stretch right. Very good. Breathe in, lift up. Swap hands over. Breathe in, stretch up. Let's go off to the left. Gentle breath in. Stretch left. Breathe in. Stretch left. Breathe in. Stretch left. Breathe in. Stretch left. Breathe in, lift the right hand up. Breathe out, swap the hands over. Left hand up. Exhale as you go across to the right. Try and open the whole left side of your body. Breathe in and stretch. Breathe in and stretch. Breath in and stretch. Breathe in and stretch. Very good. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, let the hands gently down. Let's gather chi. I suggest you do these exercises every morning, no matter what you're doing. It takes 15 minutes just to do some simple waist turning, back and forward bends, some simple side bends. As I always say, if you do it every day, you'll live to be 125 years old if you choose. And pour the chi down. Daft thought came through my mind. One of those sort of subtitles that we should have on the video that goes into the space here that goes, unwittingly, Jeremy had found the fountain of youth. Okay, sorry, just amusing myself. Let's do our 5 element sounds. So we use Dr. Pang's setup phrase. It's setup phrases, sorry, it's called the 8 phrases of Qi. So Dr. Pang created this kind of poemic form, the 8 phrases of Qi. And essentially it puts us into the right place for our kind of meditative session. So we just stand, we just relax. Let's just gather Qi one more time and put our hands onto our belly this time. So just lift the hands up. Pull the hands down. Draw the hands to the belly. And then just let your hands settle over lower dantian. So when we stand in this posture here, we're just gathering chi. It just aims us more clearly to the center of our body. So we just stand here, focused into the core of ourselves. I'll sing the 8 phrases for you in Chinese, and then I'll just talk through it in English. 头天彻地，心上一场，万际人的境。心中马 So it's called the 8 phrases of Qi, but for the more observant, you might notice that I sing in 10 lines, because the last line is repeated 3 times. Jiu Shen Rong Rong. The power behind that is allow your whole body to harmonize in the Qi field. So Dr. Pang suggests Qi field theory, a bit like Rupert Sheldrake's morphic fields. Same idea. 𝐬𝐸𝐥𝐟-𝐡𝐞𝐚𝐥𝐢𝐧𝑠, the field. Even CERN, Large Hadron Collider, has agreed that there are fields of energy. So allow yourself to dissolve into the field. Allow yourself to harmonize with the vibration of the universe. So Dr. Pang changed the first line of this song in 2013. It used to say feet in the earth and head in the heavens, which kind of represents Taoism. It's an old way of thinking in Chinese. He moved it to feet through the earth and out into the universe. Head into the heavens, but beyond and out into the universe. So the original form of his poem was very kind of traditional in its way. The form that he changed, the first line he changed in 2013, suddenly gives us much more expansion. Go beyond. Dissolve beyond, out into the universe, and harmonize with the vibration of the universe. So we're going to use vibration. We're going to use the 5 sacred sounds, but we're going to use Dr. Pang's version of it. So he has taken the traditional sacred sounds of Taoism and he's experimented and opened and refined them in such a way that we now have many more sounds. So the first thing we want to do is to go through the 8 phrases. It says, let your body relax. So we've opened out into the Qi field. Let your body relax and let your mind gently expand. So already we've started thinking about the void and the universe. Mind is expanding. Let the whole body dissolve out into the Qi field. Lovely. Kind of relaxing yourself into the Qi field like a warm bath. And then draw the energy back into the body. So we're aware of the fact now that the universe is this infinite resource. And you can draw some of that back into your body to heal you. But also, we connect through the information of the universe. I connect with you, you connect with me. We connect as a class. Our class connects into the hundreds of thousands of classes all over the globe, to the millions and millions of people who do Zheneng Qigong, to all of the teachers, to Dr. Pang. We connect across the globe into this vast information network. We're very familiar with the World Wide Web. This is the 𝐸𝐸 Qigong web. So many people putting our minds and our intentions into the same space. Millions upon millions of people. And also, we say, no time, no space. So it doesn't matter whether you're connecting right now with me live on Zoom, or whether you connect in 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. You're still able to connect into this same morphic field. To connect with the good information of 𝐸𝐸 Qigong. To allow the healing information of millions of people to be absorbed by your body to a deep DNA level, to allow it to come pouring into your body. But we can do more than that. We're going to vibrate our bodies. So the first thing we want to do is to know where middle dantian, where the middle energy field is. So we use a very simple tone. It's 2 of the Chinese tones. Some Chinese tones are flat and some Chinese tones are rising tones. And so we use the word ling, which means flowing, I believe. And so we say ling, ling. So ling, long and slow, and then lifting, ling. So ling, ling. Put your hands onto your breastbone and start moving them around as you say ling, ling, and get the impression of where that tone comes from. Ling, 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 ling. So you should be just about zoning in on where middle dantian is. Ling, ling. So it seems to come from inside. Ling, ling. And eventually you'll have your hands, your 𝐸𝐴 points in the center of your palm, just in the right spot for you. Middle dantian qi, abundant, blood and qi flowing well, an abundance of qi deep inside. Okay, so remember this point. I'm going to ask you to make Hun Yuan entirety hands. Okay, we do this little salute at the end of the lesson each time. Right hand up, left hand down, pull the fingers together, thumbs on the end, and then just rest the hands on middle dantian. So the first tone we make is wang, qing. So we say wang, qing. And that just lets everything vibrate deep inside. So just as a reminder, I'd just like to say that the last week's lesson, we had much more detail about how to make the sounds correctly. If you're just coming straight into this one, it would be good for you to review the last one as well. But you can just dive into this one as we speak. So wang, open your mouth inside, expand the space inside your mouth, not opening your lips wide, opening the space inside your mouth wide. So you say wah, and that opens the inside, and then shuts it. Seems to drill deep inside our body. And then ching, it's just a nice clear phrase afterwards. Let's say wang ching about 3 or 4 times. Breathe in. Breathing deep. Vibrating deep in the center of your body. Breathe in. If you need to be doing this in a higher register than me, no problem at all. Find the one that suits you. Breathe in. One more time. Okay, let the hands gently release down. Gentle, easy breathing. So this seems to open, and then NG, it's almost like the shape of a letter G, the big open O at the top, and then the curl, the tail curling back on itself and going back in. So if you imagine drawing a letter G, it's got this kind of like as the comes back inside your body. Okay, so 𝐸𝐤𝐤 just generates this qi deep in the center of the body. And now we're going to work our way through the 5 organs. So because, as you can see, I'm in red, it means it's summertime when I'm making this video. So we start with the summertime element, which is the heart. So we think about our heart. We can place our hands on our heart while we make these 3 separate tones. We could massage into our heart if we wished. So why not just place your hands on your heart or in front of your heart or massage your heart, whatever seems right for you. So the heart, when it's in its kind of unbalanced form, the emotions of the heart would be kind of giddiness, instability, someone who laughs too much, inappropriately laughing at the wrong times. You know, you hear someone's died and you you laugh inappropriately. You know, this is instability of the heart. That's the heart out of balance. And so by using our tones, we can actually help to bring the heart back into balance. And then, of course, when we do that, we generate unconditional love. So unconditional love in the heart is an openness and happiness come from this as well. So what we're trying to do is to generate this beautiful feeling of unconditional love through our entire bodies, and happiness and openness, because when the heart is closed, we can't love anymore. We don't, anyway. So there's a little technique. You just focus gently from your sort of third eye, from your mind, on your chin. Just gently focusing downwards towards your chin. We're going to gently massage the heart. We're going to say the first of the heart tones, which is shin, like the shin on your leg. So we'll say that because it's summertime, we'll say shin 9 times. Okay, breathing in. Shin. Gentle breath in. Feel the vibration deep inside your heart. Breathing in. Maybe you want to go higher. Change the tone to find out what works best for your heart. One more time. You might feel you want to move your hands around, or as I say, massage, but move your hands to find a better place where the heart vibrates. So the heart tone shin is about the physicality of the heart, helping the heart muscle, the pericardium, everything flowing well, everything vibrating well. We move on to the second tone, which is Xiang. It's got this ang on it at the end. Xiang. So Xiang is much more about the qi, energetic level of the heart. So we're not quite as loud, just a tiny, tiny half a decibel down. We'll do that 9 times. Breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in. Let's do one more. Gently breathing. Think about love, thinking about openness, thinking about happiness welling up inside our heart. Absolute stability coming back to the heart. Clarity, stability. So the last heart tone, there are 3 of each organ, is shing. Just shing, shing. Holding the heart. This is much more about the spiritual connection of the heart, if you like. So they say that Shen resides inside your heart. Shen is kind of your consciousness. The brain and the heart are connected in Chinese medicine. So we have this lovely soft tone. Xing. Do it very gently so as not to disturb our Shen. Breathe in for Xing. Xing. Breathe in. Xing. Breathe in. Xing. in your heart, gently vibrating. Breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in. One more time. Gently massage into your heart. Deep inside, love is growing. Unconditional love, happiness, joy. Blood and qi flowing well through the heart, an abundance of qi. Your heart is relaxing. Your heart is opening. So because it's summertime, we've worked much more strongly with the heart, doing it 9 times. The next season coming up will be the late summer. So that's the spleen and the pancreas coming up in sort of late July, August, early September, that kind of harvest kind of area. So we could also just fortify the spleen a bit more, because that's the next season that's going to have to do a lot of extra work. So we can really use the spleen tone. So your spleen sits on the left-hand side, but actually when we say spleen, it's kind of shorthand for spleen, pancreas, which is actually probably bigger and more important. Spleen, pancreas, the omertum, yeah, the whole of the digestive system really, but spleen and pancreas. So spleen, we use the term gang, G-A-N-G, and fu, and actually we run those 2 terms together. Gang, fu. And then we take a little breath in. Jong. Gang, fu in one breath. Take a gentle interim breath. Jongs, that's kind of like D-J-O-N-G, Jong. In Chinese, Z-H-O-N-G, Jong. So gang, fu, jong. So our spleen is all about trust, trusting people appropriately. And so if you find it impossible to trust people or trust people appropriately, or you're too trusting, that would be a suggestion the spleen is not working incredibly well, and that we can lift the spleen energy by using gang, fu, zhong. But also its problem is worry and rumination, overthinking things. Gosh, we're so good at kind of like, constantly churning things over in our minds. We get stuck in these loops, round and round, turning it over, turning it over. That's a function of the spleen. And so if it's out of balance, we find ourselves as worriers, overthinkers, unable to trust. And so we really work on this to rebalance that. And then that brings trust back into balance, and it brings the mind back into a kind of level of calmness where we're not overthinking anymore, where we're just doing the regular amount of thinking. Okay, so it can bring about peace to a busy mind. Gangfu Zhong. Okay, so the point of attention, oddly, is the tip of your nose. You just gently think about the tip of your nose while you do this. You can have your hands on the spleen. We can just gently massage here. Gangfu and Zhong. Breathe in. Gangfu. Breath in. Zhong. We won't do it 9 times. We'll do it about 7 times, just to kind of, give it a little boost for the up and coming season. Breathe in. Gangfu. Gang Fu Zhong. So Gang Fu slightly stronger, and then Zhong a little bit more lightly, because that's the spiritual side of the spleen, as it were. Your Po. I think the Po. Okay, breathe in. No, sorry, they're not the Po. Relax. Okay, so there's this, the Po in the lungs, Hun in the liver, the energy of the spleen. I can't remember what it's called now. Anyway, doesn't matter. So let's start again. My musings. Breathe in. Gang Fu Yuan. Gang Fu Zhong. Breathe in. Gang Fu. Breathe in a bit more gentle. Breathe in for Gang Fu. Gang Fu. Gang Fu Zhong. Breathing in. Gang Fu. Gentle breath. Last time. Breathe in. Gang Fu. So we just hold the spleen for a moment, spleen, pancreas, omertum. We just think about our trust levels balancing out, becoming normal, easier to trust people appropriately. We think about our mind calming down, stopping overthinking, stopping ruminating, find ourselves back in a much more balanced place. So now we bring ourselves to the lungs. Their energy deep inside, their spirit deep inside is called the Po. Not that it's particularly exciting, but we just get to remember when we get to the last tone of the lungs, it's a bit more gentle. We don't want to disturb the spirits of the lungs too much. So what about your lungs? They hold some of the heaviest emotions possible. Sadness, shame, sorrow, guilt, grief. Oh my goodness, all of this held inside our poor little lungs. So we can release these emotions, sadness, shame, guilt, grief, sorrow, on our breath without having to know what we're processing. We just and let it go. So the tone for the lung is all with a S tone. We go sang, sang like the word sang. Sang. We take a break, and there's a curious tone. We breathe in. It goes S, then song, song. So this middle tone, you're hissing out, S, and then you sip in. Song. So when you sip in, you take a bit of breath in as well, and the breath closes, as I gave you the analogy last week. Sipping through a straw and a piece of ice cream gets caught on the end in your milkshake, and suddenly you can't sip anymore. So that closes all of the valves in the lung, and it really sort of jerks the lung inside. Very, very good exercise physically for the lung. So the vibrates the alveoli deep inside the lung, and then closes the lung off. Song vibrates it open again. So the first one is sang. That's right. The first one is sang. The last one is song, and then in the middle. So we'll just go to doing 5 times for the rest of the organs. The autumn, long way away. So but if we were now doing it in autumn time, we would do 9 for the autumn, and then 7 for the next season. 5, 5, 5. Or you could just do them all 9 times. Doesn't really matter, or 50 times. Maybe that's a bit too much. But what I tend to do when I'm working with them is I press the button of the organ that really is working hard now, the heart, and the one that's coming up shortly, the spleen. And then the other ones, I just vibrate them just to give them good balance anyway. They don't need as much attention because they're later on in the year, as it were. Okay, so I think you get the idea of how to sort of start to structure this. So what are we doing with the hands? Holding them in front. We're actually tapping them onto the lungs if you want. So we're just imagining our spine, the whole of our spine downwards when we do this exercise. That's the focal point. And we're thinking about getting rid of all of this grief, guilt, shame, sadness, sorrow. It comes out in our breath. You can imagine a sort of a dark cloud leaving the body. Excuse me. Okay, so sang, song. Hands on the lungs. Breathe in. Breath in for song. So breathe in. I find myself tapping lightly on my lungs as I'm doing this. Think about the whole of your spine, downwards. So breathe in, sang, sa. Okay, so breathe in. Breathe in for sang. Sa. Breathe in for song. Think downwards, down the spine. Breathing in for sang. Breathing for song. Once more, breathing in for sang. Breathing in. So what happens when you start to release all of this guilt and grief, shame, sorrow, sadness? Well, it helps our honesty to rise up. It helps us with our integrity. So if you're someone who finds it difficult to see things through to the end, it's because you have lungs full of grief and shame and sorrow. But the more we work with these lung tones, the more we release that, the more we give ourselves space for our honesty to rise up, to become integral beings who can complete things. So work with sang song just to help this aspect of our bodies. So we move from from lungs, which is the autumn, we move into kidneys in the winter. So your kidneys sit just on the ribs at the lower back. You can put your hands there and gently massage the kidneys. You could tap the kidneys with the side of your fist. Or alternatively, just rub or just leave your hands on there. If it's too much for your shoulders to get your hands around there, you could always put on the ribs at the front and think through to your kidneys. So whatever posture you choose, we're working on dissolving our fear. So the kidneys are all about irrational fear, deep irrational fear. Every time my children go out, I fear that they'll get hit by a bus. Well, you've got no reason to believe that, but you do have fear. It's just irrational fear. Some fear is good. Fear can make you wise. So the idea of not through an underpass at midnight in a built-up, in a city. That's called wisdom, and so that's the flip side of fear. You become very wise. So it's fear, but it's fear used wisely. And then, our wisdom can be shown when we're no longer afraid of things. And so when your first reaction to everything is no, 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 and then you think, well, maybe, okay, maybe yes, But when your first reaction is no, then you can see that fear is jumping to the forefront. And as soon as we take that fear out of the way, we're much wiser. Okay, so thinking of the physicality of the body, we have our diaphragm that runs from the breastbone all the way down around the back to the base of the spine, really. And the kidneys kind of sit on top of the diaphragm. So when you make the kidney sound, like a cough, EH exclamation mark, I would write it. You try and make that sound as often as you can. And each time you do that, put your hands just on the front here where the diaphragm is, just by the ribs, and say, cough it out. You can feel the whole sort of, tummy jumping. And that is where the ribs, the diaphragm around the back bounces your kidneys up and down, and your kidneys like being bounced up and down. And so the first tone for the kidneys is a breath in and coughing this out as many times as you could manage in that breath. And then we breathe in, nice deep breath, say you, as in kind of you, and then yin, yin, you and yin. So you, yin, you and yin. All right, okay, so let's just massage gently on the kidneys or hold the kidneys, rubbing against the kidneys. We're just thinking, oddly enough, about the back of our head. So our focus point is kind of from bringing everything from the front here round to the back of the head. So we just kind of think of the back of the head for a moment, think of the kidneys on the back of the body as well. We're thinking about letting all our fear go, and then we take a gentle breath in for cough out. Breathe in for you, yin. You. Yin is slightly softer and easier. Gentle breath in. Coughing out. Breathe in for you, yin. Breathing in for breathing in for you, yin. All fear dissipates, all wisdom arises. Mind gently on the back of the head. Breathing in. for you, yin. You. You know how keen I am on kidney health. If you've worked with me for a long time, you'll know I love working extra with the kidneys. So I'm just going to go out of sync, as it were, and just give the kidneys a bit more. We'll do 2 more rounds for the kidneys because the kidneys are special. Okay, breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in for you, yin. Massaging on the kidneys, or just rubbing and thinking about the kidneys, or tapping on the kidneys. All of your fear dissolving, your wisdom arising. Blood and chi flows well through the kidneys. Well, I see the kidneys as being the batteries of your life. So that's why I suddenly went out of sync. Instead of doing 5, I've done 7 for the kidneys, just to give an extra boost. Why not? We could look at this sound thing from a different diagnostic perspective. If you find yourself as a very fearful person, and that is the overriding emotion in your life, do the kidneys 9 times, 10 times, 12 times, 15 times, and the others 5. So you see how you could also focus it on yourself rather than focus it on the season. So if, as I go through the emotions, if you find that, your lungs were the story, and sometimes if you find the tone difficult to make, that's a pointer for you. So you find that you're doing, you can only go, and you're finished. 2 coughs and that's it. You think, oh goodness, I'm not being able to make the you yin, goes, breaks, it becomes unclear. Think to yourself, aha, here's a diagnostic point. I found the heart tone difficult to do. I found the spleen tone difficult to do. And then, you can focus in on what may be for you and do that until you find that tone clarifies itself and becomes easier to do. And then you'll know you've actually made a physical change in your body. So that's a reframing of the whole 5 elements idea. You can actually use it as a diagnostic system. Listen to your voice, hear what your voice does with the various tones, find out which one's difficult. Listen to the emotions, find out which emotion is the most appropriate for you, work with that organ. Okay, last on our list is the liver. Last but not least, the liver is the springtime organ, and so having just left springtime behind, we don't really need to do too much work with the liver in this particular recording, but you may be doing it in springtime. You might want to give the liver all the focus, or you might want to work on the emotion of the liver. The emotion of the liver is anger. Rrr. Do you have a flash temper? Oh, bloody hell. You just go off in a moment. And then when that's over, it's gone. But that's still an example of a flash moment of the liver, as opposed to someone who can perhaps resent and be cross and deeply hold grudges for many years. That's a liver story. The flash temper is a liver story. Jealousy is a liver story. So, they've always got a new car. And so, look at their house. It's much better than ours. Jealousy is a liver story as well. So we work away with all of these things for our liver just to kind of release them. And when we do them, that means that we can actually stop being angry and start being compassionate. Kindness comes through. We're just able to allow ourselves to be kind people. We're not angry anymore. We're just kind. Those the warmongers, blah, blah, blah. Now we can just think about, I could be helping here rather than shouting at the TV, that kind of thing. So when we get rid of our anger, we're able to then start to uncover our kindness and our compassion inside. Okay, great. So we need a liver tone and a kind of like a focus. You notice this focus in the body. It's rather a strange thing. Focus on your nose, focus on your chin, focus on the back of the head, focus on your whole of your spine going down. Well, this one, we're going to do the breastbone. So right in the center of the chest. This is Tanjong. So bring your focus here and think about the liver. So what we need to do is to bounce the liver in exactly the same way as we bounced our kidneys. But this time the tone is tu, T-U, tu, tu. You kind of spit it out, tu, tu, tu. And so if you put your hands onto your breastbone, tu, 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 you'll find it kind of moving and flexing. Tu, tu, tu is the first tone. And then we take a breath in. This time the joint tone is Ju-ling. So dew, like the dew on the grass, Ju-ling. Ling kind of clarifies. Okay, so you can rub your liver, have your hands on your liver, gently pat, tap your liver, have the hands just in front, whatever seems right for you. 2, spitting, then the second breath, Ju-ling. So breathe in. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Breathe in. Breathe in. Spitting 2. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Breathing in for Ju-ling. Breathing in for 2. Breathing in for Ju-ling. Breathing in for 2. 2, sorry. Breathing in for Ju-ling. Anger dissipating. We're literally spitting out our anger. Breathe in. Breathing in for Ju-ling. Just gently massage and tap the liver. You know, in the English language, we have the phrase spitting with rage, spitting. And so we have this just literally spitting your anger out, getting rid of your anger. We have it in our language. We spit when we're angry. Okay, great. So let's finish off then. Bring the hands back up into this Hun Yuan hand posture. Right hand up, left hand down, pull the fingers together, thumbs. We just put the hands back on. And we're just going to say Qing for a minute or so to finish off. Qing brings it all together, joins all of the tones up, integrates everything, and puts it deep in middle dantian. Okay, gentle breath in for Qing. You can feel the NG of Qing going deep inside your body. Breathe inside. Blood and qi flowing well through the organs. Qi. All the organ emotions coming into balance. Breathe in. Our love, our open, our happiness. Our wisdom building. Our trust and clear-mindedness building. Our compassion and our kindness building. Our honesty and our integrity coming to the forefront. One more time. Everything deep inside middle dantian. Breathing deep. Release the hands down by the sides. Gather the hands backwards past your hips. Flare them out to the side, gathering a huge ball of qi. We're going to bring this back to the belly. Draw this beautiful ball and slot it deep inside. Store it deep inside. Hold qi deep inside lower dantian. Lower dantian qi is abundant. Qi and blood flow well through your body. All of the functions of your organs returning to perfect working order. All of the organ systems returning to perfect working order. All of the systems of your body, perfect working order. Blood and qi flow well through your body. Think about lower dantian, abundant. All this qi behind your hands. Float up your spine, up into your brain. Illuminate your brain. Illuminate your neck and your shoulders. Pour the qi down to your fingertips. Illuminate the whole of your spine, down to your pelvis, down to your hips, down to your hip joints. Pour the qi down your thighs, into your feet. An abundance of qi throughout the whole of your legs. To the soles of the feet, to the back of your body. Think about the skin, this barrier of qi. Think about the Wei Qi layer. It's about 2 or 3 inches around your skin, this big, strong layer of qi protecting you. And then think about your qi body, this bubble of qi. A meter in front and behind, left, right, above and below, this vast bubble of qi. Protects you, but it also connects you. See yourself as a being of light. Every cell in your body working well. Every cell in your body abundant with qi. All functions of your body are perfect. All functions of your body are healthy. Think about that. All functions are healthy. The work you have done has changed the course of your body. All functions healthy. So sometimes your body takes a little while to sort of reflect the physical change of it, because that's the slowest bit to change. But we change our mind deep inside. We see our body as healthy. And then we change the qi deep inside, and that starts to physically change the body. So be patient. Everything is working well. Everything is heading in the right direction. All functions, perfect working order, and your body is healthy. Healthy. Big smile on your face. Slowly open your eyes. Release the hands down by the sides. Let's shake out the hands. Let's shake out the feet. Oh, lovely. Move your body in whichever way you wish. This is the best insurance policy you've ever taken out. Just looking after your body in this way. Okay, if you want to bend, do so very judiciously because you can get very dizzy. So you can go down very, very slowly and come up even more slowly. Really, really take your time when you come up. Just do whatever your body feels like it needs to do. Stretch out in any way you feel is important for you. Just listen to your body and find out what needs a good stretch. Right, there we are, finished. So now we're going to close with our salute and so forth, but don't unmute yourself, because if you unmute yourself, you suddenly appear dramatically on YouTube. And if you don't want to be on YouTube, then don't unmute yourself. You can switch on your camera though. That doesn't draw attention to you. You won't feature on YouTube. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say Hao La. Hao La is Chinese for good already. Good already. Everything we've done is already fixed, already sorted. So we say Hao La. We put our hands up in the air, shout 1, 2, and then Hao La. So we'll do that 3 times, and I'll know that you're Hao Laing with me. So draw the hands up in the air. 1, 2, Hao La. 1, 2, Hao La. 1, 2. La. Very good. So we make a little salute for each other. Right hand comes up, left hand goes down. Familiar hands, these ones. But this time, bring it up in front of your chest. Thank you so much for being here. Really nice to work with you today. And these will go up online. Please practice again. Please share, etc., etc. Have a lovely day. Bye.